About Me section that I wrote recently. My name is Sarah, and I've now had a few old gentlemen tell me the story of my name, which is to say they told me something true about myself without knowing it, but seeming like they knew and they were pretty convincing. So this story is as much about me as it is to do with just my name. So, Sarah. I married Abram as Sarai. Then God decided we would become parents of many nations. Clearly this meant adding an H somewhere in our names. So I stayed married, but my husband became Abraham, and I became Sarah, which means princess in Hebrew, so I was like, sick. Then God said I would have a baby. Or maybe an angel told me, I don't remember. But I laughed in that sumbitch's face because I was 90 years old and all dried up. Good one, I said to Abraham, who was 100. But God's a fucking dick, and he thought it was real cute that I laughed, but he still put a 90-year-old lady through childbirth to Isaac, who means laughter. So these old men, they told me this story, one at the Hockey Haven and the other at Trader Joe's, and they said that God loved Sarah because she laughed. And I said, sounds like God made a laughter a real pain to bear. I'm a messy girl, and I have shame. These are not two good things to have at once. Sure, for some things I have no shame at all. I degaff for one about whatever assumptions are made about me. It's interesting, really, because you exist as an idea in someone's head, unless you're right into their fingers. How is that not a parallel universe? So I degaff that I was half Asian in someone's parallel understanding of me. They must have seen my face different, or have caught me in those sometimes when I do sort of, from an angle, look a little Asian. And by the time they're thinking about me later, there I am, a copy of a copy, replaying something I did or said, or hypothetically responding to something new, except now as a mostly Chinese girl, who is very, very messy. Better would be if I accepted it, and I learned to love myself for being messy like Jesus would have done. Jesus probably thinks it's really fucking cute that I degaff about living any cleaner a lifestyle than the cavemen. Jesus would say, just be yourself, for you're just as God made you, you sweet, messy-ass child. But it's like everyone's apologizing to me for their messy cars or their messy places, and I realize I've let my vocabulary down because we can't use the same word for my place that we can for their places. So I go home and I clean my place. Actually, I cleaned my room today, but I really just rearranged the furniture. But sometimes I get really into it, and it's like my dad when he used to teach me how to clean my room and turn it into a game. Like 30 seconds to put all the laundry on the bed, or 20 seconds to get it all in the hamper. But I can tell you, if I waited until I was in the mood to clean every time, I'd clean about as often as I rewatch The Exorcist. You've got to discipline yourself with things like cleaning. Before I ever decide to give up being so indulgently messy, I lay around in filth and grime, becoming more and more fascinatingly disgusted with myself. I pretend I'm my mother, who thinks the dishes and the fact of the mold inside them means that she didn't do her job, or wants me to think that she thinks that's what it means, so I'll start taking care of myself for her sake and for the sake of her opinion of herself. Or I pretend that I'm some sexy guy who showers every day, and I'm totally turned off when I come back to her place and she has to move something every time she wants to put something down. This is what I mean about why you shouldn't have shame if you're going to be messy. You just start punishing yourself by masquerading as those who would judge you, while you continue to surprise yourself with your diminishing standards for hygiene. Like, watch as she finishes another bowl of oatmeal and just sets it down on an uneasy stack of notebooks. Isn't it horrible? Watch as she keeps her shoes on as she stands on the bed and then later sleeps in the same spot. This girl, she'll do anything. She doesn't give a fuck. I'm a messy girl, and I sometimes want to be a natural clean girl. Like one of those girls who don't sweat when they exercise or get crumbs on their clothes or stains in the corner of their mouth. Like one of those ones you're like, she's made of different stuff. But really, if you know anyone well enough, you find the stuff we're all made of. It's just too bad it didn't make us all messy so that I'd be on an even playing field. Or that cleaning's not just more fun to do, but it's not. I should be clean. I should feel it in my body that my environment is clean, and it should feel better than usual. But I'm a lazy girl who finds both mess and sleep nostalgic. Still, when I wear black anywhere and everyone can tell I have a cat, I always bring up my lint roller. Because you exist as an idea in someone's head, and sometimes you recognize your chance to make it an accurate one or a better one, and you can't stop yourself even if you wanted to. And besides, someone might dig this idea and want to put their fingers over you or make sure you exist somewhere else too, and be with you and the idea of you all at once. So, what is love if not an orgy in some alley between your parallel universes?